Did you know that 7 major restaurant chains are literally collapsing right now? I'm talking about brands you grew up with, places your parents took you for birthdays. But here's the crazy part. While these 7 are dying, 3 chains are absolutely crushing it. And number 5 on the avoid list, I ate there last month and I'm still mad about wasting my money. All right, so last week I went to breakfast with my friend Sarah at one of these chains, and what I saw made me realize something huge is happening in the restaurant industry. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index's 2025 report, casual dining is in crisis mode. Since 2019, these chains have lost 34% of their customers, while prices jumped 34%. But listen, while 7 major chains are basically on life support, 3 others figured out the secret. They're making billions and they're packed every night. Today, I'm breaking down which 7 to avoid and which 3 are actually worth your money. Let's jump in. Number 7, to avoid, Red Robin. Okay, so number 7 might surprise you because Red Robin used to be, honestly, pretty solid. Like those bottomless fries. Come on, that was genius. And their burgers were actually decent for a chain restaurant. But here's what's happening right now, and this just came out in March 2025. Their CEO literally announced they're considering closing 70 underperforming locations. 70. That's not just trimming the fat, that's a full-blown crisis. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, but maybe those are just bad locations, right? The other ones are fine. Wrong. Here's the thing, I've been tracking customer complaints across the country, and the same issues keep popping up everywhere. Understaffed dining rooms, long waits, food that's just meh. My cousin lives in Ohio, and she told me she went to Red Robin 2 months ago, waited 45 minutes for a table even though the place looked half empty, then another 30 minutes for food, and when the burger finally arrived, she said it looked nothing like the menu picture. The bun was soggy, the toppings were all sliding off, and she's pretty sure the lettuce was brown around the edges. But here's the real kicker. They stopped using the Mr. Beast Burger virtual brand, which was actually bringing in decent sales, so their revenue took a hit, and instead of fixing the core problems like staffing and food quality, they're just closing locations. Look, I'm not saying every Red Robin is terrible right now, but the trend is clear. This chain is struggling hard, and from what I'm seeing, it's only getting worse. If you've got a Red Robin near you that's still good, enjoy it while it lasts, because it might not be there next year. Number 6, to avoid, TGI Fridays. All right, number 6, TGI Fridays. And man, this one actually makes me a little sad, because who didn't love Fridays back in the day, right? I remember being like 16 years old, and Fridays was the spot. You'd go there after the football game, get some mozzarella sticks, maybe sneak a sip of your older brother's drink when your parents weren't looking. Those were good times. But guys, Fridays is done. Like, stick a fork in it. It's cooked. Here's the timeline, and it's brutal. In November 2024, they filed for bankruptcy. Now, when they filed, they said, "Oh, don't worry, we're not closing any restaurants." Classic corporate speak. And what happened? Just a few months later, in early 2025, boom, they shut down 30 locations. Get this. By the end of April 2025, TGI Fridays only had 85 locations left in the entire country. 85. They used to have over 200 just a few years ago. That's like watching a slow-motion car crash. But it gets even more ridiculous. Remember their mozzarella sticks? Apparently, there was an actual lawsuit about them. I'm not even joking. People were that disappointed. I went to a Fridays about 6 months ago in New Jersey because I was traveling, and it was the only place open late. First of all, walking in felt like stepping into a time capsule from 1995. And not in a cool, nostalgic way, in like a nobody's updated this place in 30 years way. The menu was this massive thing with like 100 items, but you could tell half of them were just the same ingredients mixed around differently. I ordered the Jack Daniel's burger because I figured, that's their thing. It came out, and I kid you not, the whole plate looked like it had been sitting under a heat lamp for 20 minutes. Everything was dried out. And the price? $18 for a mediocre burger and some sad fries. $18. I could have gotten a way better burger at Five Guys for less money. The problem with Fridays is they got stuck in the past. They didn't innovate, they didn't update their look, and they definitely didn't keep up with what customers actually want. Industry analysts are straight up calling it an outdated concept. When your own industry experts are roasting you like that, you know it's bad. So yeah, unless you're feeling super nostalgic and you don't mind wasting money on disappointing food in a restaurant that feels like a sad museum, skip TGI Fridays. Save your cash. Number 5 to avoid, Applebee's. Okay, number 5, Applebee's. And I'm just going to say it. Applebee's is basically the restaurant version of giving up. Now, before you come at me in the comments, hear me out. I know some of you probably have good memories of Applebee's. Maybe your mum took you there after soccer practice, whatever. I get it. But let's look at the facts. Sales dropped 6% in 2024. They closed 35 locations, and this is while they were running those viral $1 and margarita deals that were all over social media. Those $1 and margaritas couldn't even save this chain. Think about that for a second. You know why those deals didn't work? Because people would come in, get the cheap margaritas, and then realize the actual food was overpriced and mediocre. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. I actually went to an Applebee's about 3 months ago because my friend insisted. She was convinced it wasn't that bad. We ordered this Nashville hot chicken sandwich that was supposedly new on the menu. According to reports, this sandwich got literally zero buzz. And after trying it, I understand why. It was just bland. The chicken wasn't even that hot. The bun was one of those cheap ones that falls apart if you look at it wrong. And the whole plate, like $14 for that. But the worst part was the service. Our waitress looked absolutely exhausted. She was covering what looked like 8 or 9 tables by herself. You could tell the place was understaffed, which matches what I've been reading. Customers all over the country are complaining about the same thing. Not enough servers, long waits, food taking forever. And here's what's really happening. Applebee's is trying to compete on convenience and price instead of quality. They're basically saying, hey, we're here, we're cheapish, come eat. But that's not a winning strategy anymore. People would rather spend a little more and go to Chili's or Texas Roadhouse where the experience is actually good. Or they'll just grab something quick from Chipotle or Chick-fil-A and save time. There's this analyst quote that stuck with me. He said Applebee's is becoming increasingly associated with convenience rather than quality. That's not what you want people thinking about your restaurant. So unless you're absolutely desperate and it's the only place open, I'd skip Applebee's. Your taste buds will thank you. Number 4, IHOP. This one personally hurt because I used to love this place. Consumer Affairs collected 352 reviews. 60% were 1 star. Let that sink in. The complaints are gross. Brown egg white omelettes. Undercooked eggs so cold the cheese won't melt. Cold coffee. Brown avocado. Wrong orders. And management doesn't care. Remember that breakfast I mentioned with Sarah? This was it. We waited 20 minutes to be seated in a half-full restaurant, then 15 more for water. When food arrived, her stuffed French toast had brown, mushy strawberries. My omelette was overcooked and cold somehow. The bill, $35 for genuinely bad food. I make better pancakes at home for $3 worth of ingredients. IHOP used to be solid. Now it's just sad. Skip it. Number 3, Cracker Barrel, the southern country store your grandparents love. Look, the nostalgia is real. Rocking chairs, gift shop, old-timey vibes. But the food quality has fallen off a cliff. Real Yelp review. Water was dripping from the ceiling onto a customer's table. Another review said workers were coughing on food, their signature chicken fried steak, reviews calling the breading mushy and flavour bland. I went 4 months ago on a road trip. Our table was sticky. The chicken and dumplings looked microwaved. Dumplings were gummy, chicken dry. My mum's salad had wilted lettuce, paying $15–16 for frozen dinner quality. A critic said Cracker Barrel is selling nostalgia more than good food. That's exactly right. Unless grandma's forcing you, skip it. Number 2, Red Lobster. This collapse is the most dramatic of all. Here's the story. They ran all-you-can-eat shrimp for $20. Great for traffic, terrible for profits because shrimp is expensive and Americans can eat a lot of shrimp. They lost money on every customer. May 2024, they filed for bankruptcy. Sales dropped 22.7%, biggest drop of any chain, closing over 120 locations. But there's more. Customers saying seafood doesn't taste fresh, portions shrinking, prices rising. I went last year, ordered the ultimate feast for $35. Crab legs overcooked and watery, shrimp tiny, lobster tail so rubbery I couldn't chew it. Private equity owns them, cutting costs everywhere. Smaller portions, cheaper ingredients, less staff. Customers aren't dumb, they can tell quality dropped. Those Cheddar Bay biscuits are great, but you can buy the mix at the grocery store. Make them at home instead of eating at a failing restaurant with questionable seafood. Number 1 worst, Denny's. American Customer Satisfaction Index says Denny's is officially the worst rated chain in 2025. Scored 75 out of 100, that's an F, and their score went down from 2024. Wait times over an hour just to be seated. Then waitresses ignore you even when it's not busy. Even delivery drivers avoid Denny's because of ridiculous waits. Food quality is a disaster. Cold eggs straight from the fridge. Burnt cheese with runny eggs inside. Stock dropped 40% in 1 year. Closing 150 locations. I went at 2 a.m. cross-country. Inside looked filthy. Coffee stains, sticky floors, falling apart menus. Ordered eggs and a burger. Waited 45 minutes with 3 other tables in the whole place. His eggs cold, bacon burnt. My burger dry as cardboard, stale bun. $28 for that. This chain has given up. They're coasting on being open 24/7 near highways. If Denny's is your only option, go to a gas station instead. Dead serious. Okay, I know that was depressing. You're thinking, where can I eat? Good news. While those 7 are dying, 3 chains are absolutely crushing it, making billions, expanding, packed every night. And the reasons why are actually fascinating. Let me show you the 3 that are still great. Number 3 still great, Olive Garden. I know people love to hate on it. Not real Italian. Yeah, we know. But let's look at facts. $5.2 billion in sales, 2% growth while others declined. 920 locations expanding. The never-ending pasta bowl. $39.99 for unlimited pasta, breadsticks, and soup or salad. Show me a better deal. My wife and I went 2 weeks ago, ordered tour of Italy, couldn't finish half, took home leftovers for next day's lunch. 1 meal became 2. That's value. Those breadsticks, warm, garlicky, unlimited, delicious, zuppa Toscana soup, hearty and filling. But here's what they really get right. Consistency. Olive Garden in California tastes the same as New York. That reliability is valuable. Clean restaurants, decent service, family friendly. Are there better Italian places? Sure, but you'll pay way more. Olive Garden found their lane. Fair prices, big portions, consistent quality. They're making $5 billion for a reason. Number 2, Chili's. The best comeback story in the industry. 3 years ago, they were struggling. Then 2022, new CEO Kevin Hochman comes in and completely turns it around. The numbers are insane. 15% sales growth in 2024. Parent company stock up 280% in 1 year. 3 straight quarters of double-digit growth. The genius move, $10.99 meal deal. Appetizer, entree, and drink for under $11. That's insane value in 2025. But they didn't just cut prices. They reimagined the menu, simplified it, focused on burgers, chicken tenders, ribs, got rid of weird items nobody ordered. I went last month after seeing it blow up on TikTok. The Triple Dipper accounts for 10% of their sales. Got mozzarella sticks, boneless wings, southwestern egg rolls, plus unlimited chips and salsa for $12. Portions were huge. Food was hot and fresh. Real stretchy cheese in the sticks. Then ordered a burger. Legit thick patty, quality beef, melted cheese, fresh toppings on toasted bun. Whole meal with triple dipper, burger and drink. $22. Can't get decent food anywhere for under $25 anymore. But the value isn't just food. Service was great, restaurant clean and updated. They invested in operations, hired more staff, renovated locations. The $10.99 deal went viral, influencers posting about it. One analyst called them hitting a value promotion at exactly the right time. But it's more, they understood what customers wanted and delivered. This is how you save a chain. Number 1, Texas Roadhouse, the new king of casual dining. For the first time in 7 years, Olive Garden lost the top spot. Texas Roadhouse is now officially number 1 in America. Sales jumped 14.7% to $5.5 billion. Opened 26 locations when others closed hundreds. 722 restaurants nationwide. While competitors lost traffic, Texas Roadhouse gained customers. So what's the secret? They're just doing everything better. Pricing strategy, they kept increases below inflation. Average check is $23. That's $6 less than Outback, $2.50 less than Longhorn. But quality is legitimately better. USDA choice beef, hand-cut steaks daily, everything from scratch including those warm rolls with cinnamon butter. They invested in labor. When others cut staff, they hired more servers, bussers, kitchen workers. Analysts say they prioritize guest experience. I went 2 weeks ago with my family. Saturday night, packed, only waited 25 minutes. While waiting, saw the open kitchen. Cooks not rushed or stressed. Place runs smoothly. Our server, Amanda, came within 2 minutes. Genuinely friendly, explained specials, brought fresh rolls. My kids demolished them. I got ribeye medium rare. Cooked perfectly. Good char outside. Pink juicy inside. Seasoned right. Wife's sirloin tender and flavorful. Kids ate the chicken tenders without complaining, which is rare. Amanda checked on us multiple times. Kept drinks refilled. When my son dropped his fork, she brought a new one before we asked. That's attention to detail. Total for 4 with steaks, chicken, sides, drinks, dessert, $95. Super reasonable for quality steakhouse food and great service. But here's what really sets them apart. Consistency. Texas Roadhouses in different states are all good. Strong operational standards they don't compromise on. An executive said, "We want to be the everyday value player." That's exactly what they are, not fancy or trendy. Just consistently delivering good food, good service, fair prices. Stock up 45% this year. Investors love them. Customers love them. This is success in 2025. Not cutting costs, not gimmicks. Just executing basics better than everyone else. Here's the bottom line. The restaurant industry is going through the biggest shakeup in 30 years. Chains that got lazy, raised prices without improving quality, stopped caring about customers. They're dying fast. Denny's, Red Lobster, Cracker Barrel, IHOP, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Red Robin. These aren't just having a bad year. They're in crisis. Some might not survive. But chains that invested in people, kept prices reasonable, focused on consistency and guest experience, they're printing money. Texas Roadhouse understood you need adequate staffing. Chili's figured out value is the whole package. Olive Garden realized consistency is strength. The difference isn't complicated. Good food, fair prices, adequate staff, clean restaurants, friendly service, consistency. That's it. The chains that remembered this are thriving. The ones that forgot are collapsing. So next time you're deciding where to eat, remember this. Skip Denny's, IHOP, that sad Applebee's, bankrupt Fridays, definitely Red Lobster. Hit up Texas Roadhouse for properly cooked steak with great service. Grab that $10.99 Chili's combo. Or go to Olive Garden, get unlimited breadsticks, enjoy yourself guilt-free. If this saved you from a bad meal, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me which chain you'll never go back to. I read every one. Subscribe because next week I'm exposing fast food chains secretly using the cheapest ingredients. Number 3 is actually disturbing. Until then, stay smart about where you spend your money. Life's too short for bad food and bad service. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.